Hello folks, and welcome to another Irish Whiskey review with me, Marty McCauley. I hope everything finds you well. We're in the middle of this pandemic which, well, seems to be dragging on and on and on, but fingers crossed everything will come out okay and we'll hopefully go back to some sort of normality in the near future. In the meantime, what we can do is trust our old friend whiskey to see us through. Yeah, just have to take it as it comes, folks. That's all we can do. Now, what are we reviewing tonight? Well, I'm going to show you the label on this, and I'll tell you how it's pronounced a little bit afterwards, but have a go yourself at home. This is a Killowen experimental cask. So, this is from the Basque country in the Iberian Peninsula. You have to be very careful what you say here. Don't want any Basque separatists coming round the glens of Antrim hunting me down. But this is a type of wine that is brewed down there, fermented down in the Basque country. It's Txakolina, and it's a semi-sparkling wine. It's a white wine from down that part of the country. These experimental cask finishes from the wonderful little Killowen Distillery, fantastic little place. They are bringing out wonderful stuff. Now, that's about right. So they're coming out with different finishes. Now, this is not their own spirit, it's bought in, but on the back of it, the dog walking about here, he's not long after his dinner, so he's wondering what's going on. So, on the back, this combination of single grain and single malt Irish whiskey started its life in ex-bourbon casks, fair enough, before blending and aging further in sherry butts. To enhance the character of the aged blend, Killowen have expertly married it with another ex-bourbon aged single malt Irish whiskey before finishing it in a Txakolina cask. So, now, this is bottled at 55.75%, which is quite strong, okay? Now, again, the Killowen ethos is fire it out, basically straight out of the cask. Sometimes you get little bits of char floating about in the bottle from the cask. All natural colour and so on and so forth. Most of the colour in this will have come from the sherry, obviously. Now, it's 55.75%. So this is basically straight out of the cask, straight into the bottle. And there's a big surge on these days for cask strength whiskies. This is appealing to a lot of the people who are whiskey purists. They want cask strength whiskies. Be very careful of these folks, because it's all well and good having a cask strength whiskey, but, well, for one, the human body's not really designed to take whiskey at almost 60% ABV. It's just not. You know, that 110, 120 proof. So at that, it's quite strong. That's one thing. Hopefully you'll be aware of that and take that into account. But in terms of flavour, if you start adding water to your whiskey, and when whiskey's at 40%, for a lot of them, it's not really the optimal point at which to get the full experience. It needs a little water to bring it down, to open it up, to help the chemistry that's going on in the glass, and to allow all the flavours to come out without being overpowered by alcohol. Personally, I tend not to put too much water in it. I think it's very easy to overwater and you can't take it out. So I tend not to put a huge amount of water in lots of them. But when you have a cask strength whiskey, this is a different ball game. Being at 55.75%, to take it down even to the 40%, you really need to be adding approximately 2.5 teaspoons of water. That's when it's at 35 ml pour. So you're wanting really to take it, probably depending on the whiskey, to take it even further than that. So when you see these bottles, this bottle, and you think of it at being, this is about £80 for a bottle of this. So it's not really cheap. And this is a half bottle. It's a 50 cl, 500 ml bottle. You think it can be quite expensive, but you have to remember, once you start adding your water and bringing down the ABV, bringing it up to, in terms of flavour, opening it up and increasing the volume, suddenly your half bottle really heads towards being a full bottle, and possibly even a little bit more if you stick with me. So on the nose, it's really, really strong. There's a honey, there's a sweet, there's a fruitiness coming off it. There's like a honeycomb, like a chocolate honeycomb coming off it, but it's too harsh on the nose at that strength. It just is. There's just so much alcohol, and there's not the deep flavours to pull the alcohol back down again. So as you can see, I've had quite a lot of this, so I kind of know how I like to take this. So my silver spoon, put it in, you get to see all the oils moving out. So I'm putting in about 3 of these little teaspoons. And some people will probably go, oh no, that's too much, it's too much. It's not, trust me on this. So we'll let it decant a little bit and swirl it round. And now it's totally different. Totally different. It's approachable. There's a lovely sweetness to it. There's actually quite a deep sweetness to it, like a rich honey, like a heather honey. The sherry's coming through, but it's been lightened. It's been worked with the Txakolina. So it's got that wine influence, but the wine is being balanced out. There's a very floral note, which is very close to the fruit, so it's floral and fruity. So you're getting this nice mix of perfumey scent on the nose, and there's a slight baked scone type note to it. So a sort of very light fruit scone with I want to almost say that there's an acidity to the nose of it, but it's not. It's in that ballpark. It's almost heading towards having a slight acidity from wine, but it's not just there. So it's heading that way, which is nice, balanced against the rich fruit of the sherry. Mm-hmm. Yeah, lovely wine. It's coming through. It comes through a lot of heat, and that's even with 3 little teaspoons of water in it. There's still plenty of heat coming out of it. Again, the sherry's there, but the sherry's tempered. It's a nice berry sweetness, fresh berries. On the finish, you're getting sort of red currants, fresh red fruit, little touches of tartness in it that's actually quite works quite well. It's got a berry. Yeah, bit of heat again, a little bit of biscuit, there, and then lots and lots and lots of fruit, fresh fruit, red berry, possibly a little bit of cherry, a little bit of chocolate, and there's still heat. The heat's coming through. Now, I've already put 3 teaspoons of water in this. So, again, as I say, I've worked with this a few times, so I kind of know where I think it needs to be. Now, I've taken 2 sips out of this, and I'm still putting a couple of... With this, really to get where you need to be, it needs to be less than 40%. It needs to be probably in and around 35. And for that, you need to be putting in sort of 5 teaspoons of water. It's really where this really, you get the full benefit of it. It's not bad. It's not bad after the sort of 3, but really another couple really zips it out. It takes, dampens away the sherry and brings out that fresh fruit of the Txakolina wine. Yep, much better. Honestly, it's zipping off now. It's spicier. It's got a little sharpness. It's got that fresh fruit, but it's pinging out a bit more. There's again a slight biscuity note to it, but also with fresh fruit. Yep, it's much better, much cleaner, much crisper. The sherry is put away. It's down much lower. The bourbon, you can't really, there's not a huge bourbon there. The sweetness is coming through, but it's more from the wine rather than from any bourbon sweetness. Yeah, because the problem if you use bourbon casks and sherry is you sometimes can overdo it and get that, it's almost like a sticky sweetness, that it's over sugared, and that's not something that's particularly pleasant. But whenever this is married up, the white wine then lifts it out, brings it across, and lets you have a different flavour. And this is what these experimental casks are about. They're about finishing off in something slightly different, something that other people haven't done. Yeah. Excuse me. Yeah. Much easier to drink. Much easier to drink. Flavours coming through, and they come through in a nice rolling action. They're not hitting you straight away, so they're coming through in that nice rolling action. That's really what you want. You want that experience. The finish still coming on. It's got much lighter. It's still floral. It's still sweet. The biscuity notes and stuff that are not really there too much. The sherry's pretty much gone, which is not a bad thing, because you're getting something totally different here. There's a body to it, probably coming from the sherry, but not overpowering it with this sort of sickly sweetness. Yeah. Don't be scared to put from the bottle 3 teaspoons of water in this, and then go again at it. It comes alive. It's fresh. It's fruity. At 40%, it's still a little bit too hot. Another little bit of water dilutes it again, brings it down, gives you a fresh, clean. The floral stuff's there. There's lots of nice notes coming through, all in the same ballpark. There's almost like a sweet pea element coming to it now. So you've got all these different layers. So experiment with these. I'm saying five teaspoons in this. for a 35 ml pour. But this is, again, it comes down to yourself. You work with it, spend some time with it. I like this because I've got to play with it and do different things and say, oh well, that I'm not getting those notes there and I'm getting them there, and so it comes through. This is really where I like this at, and that's what cask strength whiskey should be all about. Loads of people are big into cask strength whiskies these days. They're pushing and pushing. Send us out cask strength, send us out single cask, send us out single cask strength straight from the bottle. And Brendan down in Killowen is doing that. This is one of the unredacted labels. So see Brendan's signature there. Oh, there, sorry. So what would I give this? I'd have to give this a good solid 7 out of 10. It's easy to play with. I don't think it's got the massive bags of flavour that the rum cask had. I thought it was much better flavour, but 7 out of 10 is not bad. And keep going. There's more to come from Killowen, I've no doubt. Listen folks, stay safe. Hope you enjoyed the review. Remember, subscribe, share with your friends, and tune in on a Saturday night for me and Justin doing whatever it is we decide to do during the week on a Saturday night, 10 PM, Facebook Live, also streams on YouTube. So thanks very much guys, stay safe and take care of each other. Okay, bye bye.